I'd had a reflection about 2 weeks earlier just saying that I was taking by not sharing what I had to say. And so everything seems to be focused around that at the moment. Like how to show up physically in the physical world, because I've been on a spiritual search since I was 14, and that's all been awesome. But I don't know exactly the thing to talk to you about.
Cool. I like what you said. That you said by not sharing your gifts, you felt like you were stealing.
It was. I'd always felt it was the other way around. Like I didn't want to take people's time. I didn't want to take up too much space. And my meditation teacher just really shone a light on it and said, "Did you know that that's taking?" And I just had no idea.
I like that. So what are the gifts that you used to not give as freely as you do now?
My truth, which is another thank you for that in the book, is just I've had such an invite to step up recently within my relationship and in my friendships. I've always felt from a very young age that I'm here to give something or help people. I teach weekends and things like that, but I don't really know. I think I've always stopped myself with money, and I see that I've used that as an excuse, and I've watched your other quantum consults on that. And I'm just, everyone I listen to, I'm like, yes, awesome, there's something in that. But I just can't quite see my own block, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the idea that's coming up for me is that, especially the money one you talked about, and these gifts that you're giving through whether it's the exploration of movement, nutrition, being overall holistically and healthy and balanced, and offering that gift. And it's funny you brought up the money situation, because I believe at the events that we've been facilitating over the years, we are offering a massive gift of a perspective, a lifestyle upgrade, a community, a whole new way of living. And there's just a lot of people that are interested. And one of my favorite parts about charging money and making them in remote places, like, our next event is in Maui, and the rooms are $10,000 each, and that can be split between 1 to 3 people. So the price is basically $3,333 at $10,000, and it's in one of the most remote islands on Earth, and one of them arguably is known to be the best island on Earth. So we have this perfect storm where we're basically creating a creative constraint, or like an obstacle for people to overcome if they have a limitation around money or time or freedom. So we're basically like filtering in people that think limitlessly. Because $10,000 in Hawaii, that seems to be enough to scare someone off that thinks in limits.
Yes. Yeah. And they're always the people I'm drawn to. Always. I don't come from those people, but I'm always drawn to limitless thinkers and, those that just say it how it is. Because I just think that's more needed. And so, I've gone leaps and bounds past where I started, but I still feel like I believe some things. The fear doesn't seem to be there anymore. Like I know I'll always survive. I know I'm always good. But it feels like I'm learning a lot about generosity at the moment in all aspects.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy our communication so far. You're seemingly very present and peaceful and still. So thank you. And I agree. Like, I think this is a good reminder to consider that the capacity that one can give is probably very correlated with the capacity that one can receive. And a lot of times people, or that's basically the yin and the yang, like the giving and the receiving, or the positive and the negative, however one wants to look at that. And I think that that's a good realization if you found a way that you haven't been as generous with whatever it is, whether it's your gift or your time or money, that I have a feeling by tapping into that generosity, you're going to be even that much more of a golden receiver. And people that I think that people that are in the, say, the opposite end of the spectrum, the opposite end of the extreme spectrum where they're really needy and they just want to take and take and take, they're typically not that giving. And that's the funny thing about gifting and giving. It's arguably more fulfilling than receiving, but I think that that's coming from the perspective of someone that's usually used to taking. I think they're both great. Like if we can find that perfect balance or that harmony of giving our gifts all out and being extremely generous with them, then I think we can receive great gifts and be very grateful for them. And that's why I like grateful and generosity seem to be a great balancing act.
Having the choice to whether to have physical things or have enough to feel like I could start a family and all those things, I feel like there's been something that I've put off. Well, not really, I'm only 37, but you know what I mean, like that.
So am I hearing that you were maybe unconsciously avoiding starting a family? Is that what you were saying?
I have been. That was because I was avoiding the persons that I was with generally, but that's really changing.
Cool. Do you have a family currently, or are you saying you're now in the transition of where like, oh, now I realized I may have been blocking that opportunity?
I was blocking it by the people I used to date. Because I was being their mother rather than becoming a mother, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think anyone that's in a relationship, dating or married, at least for the man-woman type of relationship, even man-man or woman-woman, there's usually going to be some mothering and fathering involved. And I think I would keep that to a minimum of 20%. Around 20% or less, but some people straight up, they just get into a codependent relationship right off the bat and like replace their father or their mother unconsciously, or become the father and mother of their partner that they never had a relationship with. Sometimes, and that is a weird relationship because it's like, is this based on chemistry or is it based on like fulfilling a void of something that they have been seeking since a child? And I think it's fine. I think like I'm saying, I don't think a little mothering and a little fathering is fine, but I think maybe 20% of the time or less would be a healthy balance. Run, guan, guan, guan. Run, guan, guan, guan. Run, guan, guan, guan.